Right, week 11, Bengals versus the Ravens. Baltimore favored by 3.5, and I'm going to take Baltimore. The model really likes Baltimore in this game. Gives an 89% chance of winning, which translates to a 16.4 point spread. Then we come over here to the raw numbers. Is it has, when you look over here at the box plot, so it has Baltimore putting up roughly 27 points against Cincinnati's 10. Now, the one thing I'll say is, when you consider that Cincinnati really got off to a pretty poor start for the first 4 games. So it makes it look as though the numbers would look as though that Baltimore or that Cincinnati is not that particularly good in that regard. But anyone who's watched the games since then would say, hey, they've Joe Burrow's back. He played great yesterday. The fact that he got beat by C.J. Stroud, I think, is more of an indictment on the rest of the team, and on the fact that I think C.J. Stroud and the Texans have a pretty good team. But then, like I said, they've got some other areas. I don't think that they've got a particularly strong defense. I think their offense is coming around, but it just hasn't shown up in some of those other metrics that the model does rely on. So that's one to where you kind of have to look at the raw numbers and do some adjustments based upon what you've seen, and then the model's also going to say, hey, and that both teams have done better than what the model predicts, and in that situation, it says that Baltimore really does well against Cincinnati. So again, I would not predict a 27. I have a hard time believing that they're going to hold, that Baltimore's going to hold Cincinnati to 10 points. But I do think that Baltimore should be able to put some points up on the board. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the performance charts over here. So one of the big things that just points out, that jumps right out at you, is the evenness of Baltimore's games. They're able to run the ball, and you've got a very poor run defense, or poor defense at all, with Cincinnati. That really suits a team like Baltimore well. The best defense against Joe Burrow is to keep him on the sidelines. And that's exactly what it looks like they're going to be able to do. They're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to be able to control the clock. They're going to be able to have more time of possession, which is what we see over here in the lower left. Then we come over here to the right. You've got some explosiveness. Cincinnati's explosiveness just still hasn't been popping up yet. Obviously, in the last couple of games, I think they've been doing that. The other thing I would point out is Cincinnati, they have not been able to protect the quarterback. And then, again, this is a matchup. Baltimore's got a good defense, and they're putting a lot of pressure on it. So this is showing that Joe might be getting a lot more pressure than normal as well. Some things that can counteract that is interceptions. Baltimore, they've been throwing some interceptions. We saw that yesterday. Seeing some turnovers. Those are deadly sins when you're playing against teams like Joe Burrow, who, if you turn that ball over inside your own territory, they're going to make you pay. So, but with that, I do think that as good as Joe Burrow is, I don't think the rest of that team around him has really solidified yet either, and it still shows in some of the numbers. So with that, good luck with the pick. If you like what you listen to, click like and subscribe. If you've got a question or comment, drop me a note. Thank you.